Welcome back to Mega Man 11. Here's actually one of my more liked stages in this game, Fuse Man. I also like his music as far as the soundtrack, too.
When I saw the name Fuse Man, I thought it meant like fusion, as in fusing things. I completely forgot that fuses in electricity are a thing, possibly because we use circuit breakers now. Yeah, okay.
It's one of the less threatening stages, I find. This could be a good pick for opening.
It's not very long compared to the others.
The giant floating fuse enemies just gave me Gex flashbacks. Like from inside the computer levels, in Gex 2. That enemy's pretty much exactly like that.
By the way, those little gears that Ryan is picking up do restore your gear faster.
The double gear system, yeah.
Yeah.
I would never guess that gears restore your gear.
Also, what a weird level to put the bubble bats in.
Well, they have to be there somewhere because they're kind of.
I was about to say it's kind of out of place.
But we have a campground stage later, Ted. You'd think they'd put them there.
I didn't make it.
Fast on the outside.
It is weird actually because that enemy doesn't look like it fits the game that it's in. Like it pops.
Well,
really,
it fits a certain aesthetic.
Just not this aesthetic.
Not this one. Not this one. But in like Shade Man, yeah, it's a ringer for it. But
yeah, or as we'll see later, like during the campground stage of Torch Man, it would fit fine there.
It's just so blatantly out of place right now that I'm wondering why it's here.
Like, yeah, your electric factory has a bit of a bat problem. That makes no sense. Hey, listen, I know what I saw.
By the way, this timing puzzle, if you have Bounce Man's ability, you can destroy all those things with the bounce balls, and then you don't have to do it.
Yep.
I don't know. It kind of feels so deliberately out of place that I can't help but wonder if maybe they had, during development, a different enemy in mind to be the flying enemy here.
Yeah, an electric bat.
Is this the only stage they're in?
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
There is as far as determining the robot weaknesses go, try the weapons in the stage. If it's doing particularly well against, like, level gimmicks, then that's probably the weakness for the boss as well.
Oh, the mini-boss is always weak to whatever the boss is.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to the mini-boss of this stage, Bounce Man wrecks him. If you go to the mini-boss in Tundra Man stage, Fuse Man's weapon wrecks him. Like, whatever the mini-boss is weak to, the boss is also weak to. The only problem is if you use it on the mini-boss, you better get some weapon energy along the way to the main boss. Otherwise,
or in the case of this robot, or in the case of this mini-boss, he's really kind of weak.
Just avoid the lasers and keep shooting straight.
I like how the fuses look like dreadlocks, though. That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamon. But, no, did you guys try rapid fire mode?
Yeah, a little bit.
Dude, with speed gear.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It's a very interesting way to play the game.
You know what I think makes this graphic style work better than Mighty No. 9?
Besides from the obvious quality upgrade.
It's not as plastic. You know how Mighty No. 9 had this overall graphical look of a generic PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, like Beck and all them look like figurines.
Yeah.
This, however, this looks like a download title from the PS3 days, so completely different.
Well, it looks like it has a dedicated graphical style. You know,
it looks like they finished it. I think is the point because Mega Man, Mighty No. 9 just kind of looked like they weren't done. You know.
Yeah.
It's like when Mega Man 11 was announced. I remember one of my friends posted this GIF of it was the mini boss that's in Blockman stage, is the spinny guy, and it's just a zoom in of Mega Man shooting at the face with his pellets. And just like the cell shading was so vibrant in that one GIF, and I was just like, this is not Mighty No. 9 quality. This is way better than Mighty No. 9, you know?
You gotta say, though, I'm actually pretty proud of the commentary group so far. We've only mentioned Mighty No. 9 like twice.
Well, I mean, it is the obvious comparison, and we were mentioning this a little bit in part 1. It had to have at least some effect on this game getting greenlit. Is it?
I like to think so, anyway.
Is it?
I think there's no doubt that it affected the game getting greenlit somehow. Will the Capcom ever admit to it? No.
Well, it's going to happen when there's a spiritual successor, and then the series it's based on gets a sequel after that. You're going to compare them. Devil May Cry 5 is going to be compared to Bayonetta. DMC Devil May Cry was compared to Bayonetta. When we did Sonic Mania, Freedom Planet came up quite frequently.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes. If there's another Banjo-Kazooie game, we're going to be
but I don't want
frickin'
Bloodstained to suck if it means getting another Castlevania game.
Well, it doesn't necessarily
It
even
doesn't
have
have
to
to suck.
suck either, because it could, if it does well, then that's just more fuel for Konami to say, okay, this series has people want this kind of gameplay.
What Konami will do is about a year after the game releases, they'll add Dracula as a boss in Metal Gear Survive.
I mean,
Well,
probably, yeah.
Go ahead and let the main origin series learn some things from its spiritual successor. It helps it evolve. Hey, hell, if Shenmue 3 learns some stuff from the I did that on purpose. If Shenmue 3 learns some things from the Yakuza series, I will be happy.
Well, I mean,
I would certainly
the
hope that
Yakuza
the people who
series
made Mega Man 11 definitely paid attention to Unifune and Mighty Number 9 and said, okay, don't do that.
I think that's the only thing they did do, because just to get my general thoughts of the game, I think this is just a very average at best Mega Man game. And a lot of interviews show that they really had none of the developers had really any experience making one before.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Not necessarily a bad thing, but you also miss out a lot on what made the games special. So it's like, okay, we're going to play the games and learn. It's like, you kind of are missing the feel of the game in a lot of senses.
Yeah.
To me.
Okay. Beautiful level, interesting conversation, but can we just hold up? Was that a robotic ice skating Vega?
Yeah. Dr. Light was really into Yuri on Ice that day.
Yeah, Street Fighter V wasn't doing as well as we hoped, so some of the characters had to get mascot positions at the mall, and this was Vegas.
It's funny you say Dr. Light was watching Yuri on Ice. If you go into the gallery section, it's implied that Tundra Man is actually built by Dr. Cossack from Mega Man 4.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
At least I remember he exists.
Like, his manufacturer is Cossack Robot Laboratories.
What the hell? Triceratops? What
What killed the dinosaurs?
Triceratops?
The Ice Age!
No, the Ice Age came after the dinosaurs died. Shut up.
Shut up, Mr. Suck It Freeze.
Oh, we're back in Freeze Man stage.
I definitely did get Freeze Man vibes from that was 7, right?
Yeah.
Because he gave you the freeze cracker.
Well, plus when you fight Freeze
yes.
Man, there's like a skeleton of a
This is
dinosaur in
a
the background.
very nice looking level until you get down here.
Yeah.
Can we go back up top? The outdoors area was so much more fun to look at.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I might be the only one here, but I actually like
I
the
can
very
very
so
much
funny.
wait
mechanics.
for this. Like the Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels kind of stuff.
I remember this. There was a whole level based on this in Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, but
there's also Toad Man.
well, at the very least, it looks like this level isn't above 1,000,000 bottomless pits. So
Oh,
that's an
that's
improvement.
later. That's later.
Yeah, but the entire stage was above bottomless pits in Mighty Number
Yeah,
9,
it was a sky level.
So, we take what we can get at this point.
Mammoth? Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Those spikes are not instant kill, by the way.
No, they just hurt.
Is there a reason that there are prehistoric themed things in this level? Like,
Yeah,
what
the
is this?
mammoths got frozen in ice because they were during the Ice
No,
Age.
I mean like in the context of the location. Is it a museum or something?
Yeah.
They don't really have like dialogue with the Robot Masters in this game or anything, right?
No, that was a bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was a little surprising because
Yeah.
even Powered Up had dialogue, and X8 and X7. I felt like that was the trend of like modern Mega Man games, but 11, shockingly, they just have a voiceover and then fight starts. Nothing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a good way to give them some character. I don't know. It's not a major thing by any means.
Powered Up definitely gave the Robot Masters a lot of character. Like, that's where you found out that like Iceman has a crush on Roll and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt you, Miss Roll. Ugh.
I would like to see that kind of stuff in a future game. But I think in this game they were a bit afraid to go too far with modernizing the series. So
Yeah.
in some ways it's too like the classic games.
Well,
I
I think that's a good thing in this instance. Like, it's been 8 years since the last Mega Man game. We have to remember if they change too much.
Yeah. And
First, that would be bad.
I understand that. I'd be a bit less cynical about this if, well, like I said, this is sort of the game they should have done with Mega Man 10. But I'm kind of hoping that when the inevitable Mega Man 12 happens, whether it be 1, 2, or 5 years down the line, they experiment more.
Yeah, because another problem is because you can what Ted just said could also apply to 9.
Yeah.
And the problem is that game was, what, how many years after 8? Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mega Man 9 came out in
10.
2008.
Yeah,
so.
like 10 years between
Yeah,
that
so
one. So
Mega Man
you know,
9 being the way it was totally fine, especially
Yeah.
especially considering the age at which it came out, where it's a download title. Making it 8-bit makes it very easy
And
for
again,
people to
9
just
was kind of a
download.
crazy deal just because it looked exactly like Mega Man 2. No game did that. Like Sonic 4 was not a classic Sonic game,
I kind of really I haven't gotten into Mega Man 9 myself, but I appreciate what it did in that it sort of stood as a wake-up call to the general gaming community. Was that a mosasaur?
focus,
Sorry.
focus, Lewis.
It kind of stood as a general reminder to the gaming community that yes, retro games were fun, and they aren't completely obsolete. It's not like the moment something does something retro, it's going to stop being fun compared to modern games.
Can I be a little bit petty here though, because Mega Man 9 came out in 2008. And Mega Man 2 came out in, like, what, 89? So it had been
88.
88? Okay, so 20 years later, it was like, okay, so we're going to bring back 8-bit stuff. And it has now been 10 years since then, and we're still seeing 8-bit stuff, as opposed to seeing a lot of N64 style stuff. So,
Yeah,
That's
well-
actually-
A lot of that comes down to it just being easier for indie developers to do the
yeah, but
8-bit
my
thing.
nostalgia's better than yours, Lewis. Okay?
It's also more expensive.
That's why it's
What
better.
the hell? Dr. What? Okay.
Sorry, Dr. Cossack.
Why would you build a robotic T-Rex skeleton?
Hey,
Why not just
Mega
build
Man 7 had a
robotic
Jurassic
T-Rex?
Park level. I don't know.
No, they had those were in Mega Man 7 though, where they had
Yeah.
robotic.
Yeah, that's what he said.
A robotic T-Rex. That is perfectly understandable, okay? A robotic T-Rex skeleton is just...
Yeah, but they had
Maybe
they had robotic skeletons in Mega Man 7
Also,
too.
why does the robotic T-Rex have 3 fingers?
Why? I imagine more that since he's an ice skater, I imagine this is like part of a show or something.
Yeah, it's like what if it's a misplaced Halloween prop?
When you pointed out the
that's-
claws, I just thought of Truckosaurus from The Simpsons.
Three fingers was the Allosaurus thing.
Voiced by Marlon Brando.
So why does the T-Rex have 3 fingers?
I don't know. It's probably Dr. Wily didn't pay that much attention. That's
Your dinosaurs are wrong, Dr. Wily.
Well, yeah, it's made out of metal.
he's right.
That is a cool costume. Is it a good weapon?
Yeah.
Oh,
for the
this
most
is
part.
Tundra Man. It's the screen nuke. Ugh.
Well, it's kind of like it's a vertical Storm Eagle weapon, but then when you do power, it's a screen nuke.
Oh, I see. Oh, so it can also attack upward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anti-air.
Nice.